because we're speaking on Lord Shiva and Navadwip, and it's basically in Dvip. So we'll sing the song glorifying Dvip, and I'll read the translation. The song is in Bengali, so I'll read the translation after it. Nadiya Godrumanicha Nanamahaja Nadiya Godrumanicha Nanda Mahaja Pati Achana Mata Jivarakara Pati Achana Mata Jivarakara Nadiya Gautamanicha Nanda Mahaja Shadhavan Jane Shadhavan Jane Shadhavan Jane Shadhavan Jane Prabhu Rai Ghar Bhai Madiye Viksha Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha Aparada Sunya Hoy Loho Krishna Na Aparada Sunya Hoy Loho Krishna Na Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Pranadha Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dhana Pran Krishna Samsara Kori Chara Anacha Krishna Rakha Samsara Kori Chari Anacha Jive Dhoya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sam Jive Dhoya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sam Nadiya Gautama Nityananda Mahaja Nadiya Gautama Nityananda Mahaja Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So I'll just read the translation of this beautiful song that we sang. So the translation as follows. In Nadia's Gudruma, the great soul, Lord Nityananda has opened a marketplace to sell the holy names to conditioned souls. O faithful people, O my brothers, By the Lord's command, I ask this charity of you. Please chant Krishna, worship Krishna, and learn and teach about Krishna. Chant Krishna's name without offense. Accept Krishna as your mother. Accept Krishna as your father. Accept Krishna as your wealth and your life. Give up all sins. Make Krishna your whole world. Be merciful to all souls. Chant Krishna's name. That is the essence of all religion. So this beautiful translation of this beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we'll see that this pastime that I'm going to relate to you now is basically in Dvip, right? There's 9 islands in Navadwip. Nava means 9 and Dvip means island. So we're going to speak about Dvip. Then I'll just mention the other Dvips later. So there's a nice verse in the Sri Navadwip Mahatmya, which goes like this. Alakananda Puravapare Harihara Shetra Gandhaka Dare. On the eastern shore, Alakananda, besides the Gandhaka river, is Harihar Shetra. The next verse goes as follows. Srimukti Prakashahaiva Kale Sundarananda Kanana is Sahibe Bhale. In time, a deity will manifest here, and a beautiful forest will shine gloriously. Gora Gora Bhali Sadhar Nache Nije Jana Gora Bhakti Yache. This place is superior to Varanasi because here Lord Shiva constantly chants, Gora, Gora. Lord Shiva dances, holding a trident, and offers his followers devotion to Gora, that is Lord Chaitanya. So there is also a verse stating that what one attains by visiting all holy places can be attained by simply remembering Mayapur Dham, Navadvip. So in Purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says, it is said that Lord Shiva appears as Lord Advaita. It was his prayer that led to Sri Chaitanya appearing in Mayapur. Thinking of the lotus feet of Krishna, Advaita offered tulsi leaves and Ganga jal with loud cries for the Lord to appear. The Lord heard his cries and appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur Dham on the banks of the Ganges under a neem tree. So we find that in Navadvip there's 9 islands, and the 9 islands are associated with the 9 processes of devotional service. So the first one, Antardvip, is full surrender. Simantadvip, it's about hearing. Godramdvip is chanting. Majadvip is remembering. Koladvip is serving the Lord's lotus feet. Prithodvip is worshipping the Lord. Janudvip is praying. Modramdvip is serving the Lord. And Rudradvip is being a friend to the Lord. So we find that Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Atma, Nivedanam. So this is the 9 processes of devotional service. Hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the Lord's lotus feet, worshipping, praying, being a servant, being a friend, and surrendering everything to the Lord. In the island of Godrumadvip, there's a deity of Harihar. Harihar is basically half Shiva and half Vishnu, as you can see on the picture here of the advert. So the pastime goes as follows, how this deity came into being. So once the Devatas got together to have a festival, and this, was wondering like where to have this festival. So they said, let's go to the Earth planet, to Navadwip, and hold this festival there. Because they understood that the Lord will appear in Navadvip at some time, right? So they all were having kirtan, and it was a roaring kirtan. And as the leader of the kirtan was chanting the holy names of Krishna, and it got like so vibrant that the other devatas, especially Lord Shiva, he started to dance, right? And he started to chant, "Go Ranga, go Ranga," and he was dancing in ecstasy. And we know that Lord Shiva is called Nataraj, the best dancer, the best of the best dancers, because he does the Tandava at the end of creation, right? He does this dance, and the whole universe is destroyed. Then Lord Vishnu started to dance, right? It's very unusual to see Lord Vishnu dancing, but he started to dance. So neither the demigods nor Parvati saw this phenomena before, that, the both lords were dancing, Shiva and Vishnu. They danced to their heart's content, and then they both united. So they both united, became one, right? And on the left side was Lord Shiva, and the right side was Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Lord Shiva is the devotee. So you see that Lord Shiva is always engaged in chanting japa with his Rudraksha beads, right? And Lord Vishnu, he is like the boss, and he's lying on Ananta Shesh, right, the bed of snakes, and his feet is being massaged by Goddess Lakshmi. So the Lord and Master united and became one. And therefore this beautiful deity manifested called Harihar. Hari is Lord Vishnu, and Hara means Lord Shiva. So we'll share the picture later of this deity, very beautiful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this place is superior to Varanasi because Lord Shiva is always chanting, Gaura, Gaura. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that anyone who approaches Harihar, they will get the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is freely giving everyone the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Shiva is giving anyone who goes to Godrum Deep, he's giving the Lord Chaitanya. He says, yes, Lord Chaitanya, yes, Gaura, take him. So here the mercy is being thrown at you. We normally beg for mercy, right, from the Lord. But here, when you go to Godrum Dweep, and I had the good fortune of going to Godrum Dweep on I think in 2018, with His Holiness Interdubna Swami on Parikram. So yes, so basically, it is a very beautiful place. So here, the Lord is saying, here, come and get the mercy, come and take it. I'm giving it freely, right? And Harihari is giving the mercy freely. There is another mercy actually. When you are on the verge of death and in Mayapur, and if you go to Godrum Deep, which is not very far off, it's the next island basically. And if a person dies at Godrum Deep or even Mayapur, it is being described that Lord Shiva will, especially at Godrum Deep, Lord Shiva will come personally and chant Lord Gauranga's name in your ear. So if Lord Shiva chants in your ear, where will you go? Because you're hearing the Lord's name at the time of death, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, it is being described, Ante kale chaman eva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayetit samadhavan yasti nasti yatra samsaya. And whoever at the end of life quits his body remembering me, alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. So Antekala means at the end of life. Smaran, remembering the Lord. Muktwa, quitting the body. So when you quit the body, remembering the Lord, you go straight back home, back to Godhead. So you will find that it's not very easy to go back to the spiritual world, to remember Krishna at the time of death. Because during our lifetimes, there's so many impressions in our minds coming from many, many lifetimes. And to remember Krishna is not very easy. We will remember that thing or those things that are most dear to us. So if you make Krishna the most dearest, right? Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee. Man manabhava madbhakto, mami aji mam namaskuru. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me, and at the end you will come to me. So like this, the devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, trying to remember Krishna by engaging in devotional service. And in this way, hopefully at the end of our lives, we can think of Krishna and go back to Krishna, right? So it is being described that the chanting from the lips of a pure devotee, where will you go? Back home, back to Godhead, right? So normally when person is very sick and we know they're going to leave their bodies, then we put the mantra of Srila Prabhupada on, where they get to listen the Hare Krishna mantra before they leave their bodies, right? Even if a person is unconscious, we leave the mantra box, Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna next to their ear so they can hear the pure devotee chanting and go back home, back to Godhead. So in this way, Lord Shiva, he comes personally and he chants in your ear, right? Gora, Gora, and you'll be able to remember Krishna, Goranga, and go back to the spiritual world. So the analogy Srila Prabhupada gives is that, we should never hear the holy names from non-devotees because it has a poisonous effect. Prabhupada says that it is like milk touched by the lips of his serpent. It produces a poisonous effect. So similarly, we should not hear from non-devotees the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because then it'll have a poisonous effect on our heart. But if we hear from devotees who have dedicated their lives to Krishna consciousness, then that is very beneficial to us, right? And we're following the four regulative principles and chanting Hare Krishna on a daily basis. So that is very beneficial to us. And here the greatest, purest devotee, Lord Shiva, is chanting in your ears. Your destination is guaranteed. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says also in this in his writings, Mahavarnasi he dahe, Jivera marane nahika baya. This is Mahavarnasi. Souls have no fear of death here. Whoever's been delivered from this world, without the mercy of a Vaishnava, because the Vaishnavas are always chanting Hare Krishna, and Lord Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. He's the greatest of the Vaishnavas. So if he chants, we are surely our road back home, back to God, it is guaranteed. So we know that, previously Lord Shiva came as Sankaracharya, incarnated as Sankaracharya to preach Mayavad philosophy. It was called for at that time. From time to time, the Lord comes or sends his devotees, his representative, to reclaim the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead, according to time, place, and circumstance, right? So Sankaracharya came and he preached Mayavad philosophy because the message of the Vedas were being distorted, and people were into animal sacrifice and all of these things. So, he said, reject the Vedas, and, he started preaching Mayavad philosophy. So the Lord comes or sends his representative for a particular reason. So Lord Shiva, as Sankaracharya, he came to Navadwip and he went to Rudradvip, right? When everyone was asleep. So he also took rest, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in his dream, and he said, "You are my servant, so please follow my order. Navadvip is very, very dear to me, and Mayavad philosophy has no place here. So please do not preach this philosophy." When he awoke, he understood the meaning of what Mahaprabhu said, and he left Navadvip at once. So we see that in other scriptures, Srila Prabhupada says that Sankaracharya's conclusions is, although he was preaching Mayavad philosophy, but he is a devotee, and his one of his concluding verses is Bhaje Govinda, Bhaje Govinda, Bhaje Govinda Mudhamata. You fools, simply worship Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says a prayer. Discussion on philosophy is detrimental if it does not please Lord Hari. Ritualistic performances go in vain if it's not for the pleasure of Lord Hari. Search for happiness is worthless if it is not for the pleasure of Lord Hari. O my Lord, I request your worship at every step. Please do not deny my request. So Sankaracharya's philosophy is still prevalent today, right? In a subtle way in Kali Yuga. For example, the scientists, they deny the existence of God, right? And but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy will always come true. And now the Hare Krishna mantra is spread across the whole world by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So Mayavad philosophy has no place because the chanting of Hare Krishna will take over, and everybody will become a devotee at some point, right? Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this prediction that his names will be chanted in every town and village of the world. So Srila Prabhupada was a strong advocate in preaching in the West, and his pranam mantra is Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadistarine. Offer my respectful obeisances unto His Holiness Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, who is preaching in the Western world against Mayavad philosophy and impersonalism. So we'll see in Prabhupada's purports, he always speak about, this Mayavadi and impersonalism, and he's kicking that out in his purports. So because, he establishes Krishna as a person, as, that you can interact with face to face. So once in Madhya, the sages gathered to hear from Suta Goswami. So the word reached Kailash. And who lives in Kailash? Lord Shiva and Parvati. So Lord Shiva and Parvati got to hear the news, right? And Lord Shiva says to Parvati, Devi, guess who's giving class today at Navadvip? It's my favorite speaker, so I'm going. And we know that Shiva rides on the bull Nandi, right? He rides on the bull. And the bull basically doesn't go very fast. So Lord Shiva went to Brahma and borrowed his swan carrier because the swan is very swift, right? And can reach there very quickly. So he went and he borrowed Lord Shiva's swan carrier, the Hamsa Vahan. So we see that a few years ago, a fisherman found a deity of this Lord Shiva riding on the swan under the mud, under the water, basically. And he was taken out every 12 years. So they established this deity, and every 12 years, they take him out and they worship him. So they brought this deity to the ISKCON temple and they had an abhishek for him. So I also have a picture of that, but it's a drawing, so we'll take a look at that later on. So once in Samantadweep, Lord Shiva was shouting, "Go Ranga, go Ranga!" So Parvati was asked, "Who is this Gauranga?" I haven't heard of this before. Who is this Gauranga? And Lord Shiva said, "Devi, he will appear as a deity of Kali Yuga in the womb of Mother Sachi, and he will flood the world with the chanting of his holy names and award love of God to everyone he comes in contact with." And Parvati says, "Well, if that's the case, I'm going with." So Lord Shiva, she asks Lord Shiva, "Where are you going?" No, Lord Shiva asks her, "Where are you going?" And Parvati said, "To one of those islands to meditate and chant on Gauranga." So she came to Simantadweep and was meditating on Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya appeared before her and she was mesmerized to see his beauty because she hadn't seen anything like that. And Lord Chaitanya asked her, "What are you doing here, Devi?" And she said, Parvati said that, "I heard that you are going to drown the whole universe in love of God. Only I won't receive your mercy because I am Durga. I have the thankless task to keep everyone bound in this material world. So only I won't go back to the spiritual world. Where is my mercy?" So she touched the lotus feet of the Lord and she put the dust of the Lord's lotus feet in her samanta, in the parting of her hair. Like how you put sindur in the parting of the hair. So like that, she put the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya in the parting of her hair. And that is how this island got its name, Asimantadweep. Then she started crying. Lord Chaitanya said, "You're an expansion of Purnamasi." And we know the service of Purnamasi is to organize the Lord's pastimes, right? In Vrindavan and in wherever the Lord is, she organizes his pastimes. So in this material world, basically. So Yoga Maya, you are instrumental in both services. She basically, she blocks the devotee, she lifts the curtain, or she blocks the devotee from understanding what their real nature is. But if a devotee is surrendered, then she lifts the curtain of illusion, and when the devotee wants to go back home, back to Godhead. So she lifts the curtain of illusion, and the devotee makes progress towards spiritual life. But before that, the devotee is basically bound by the three gunas, right? The ropes of material nature, mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. So in this way, everybody in this material world is bound. And the most binding factor, the Rita Granthi, is basically the heart. It's in the heart, where you have love for family members and love for things of this world. That's keeping you here. You will understand that in this prison house, this material world is called the prison house. There is no shackles. There is no, securities like keeping you here. But this Rida Granthi in the heart, that's love and affection for family members, for society and for nation, that's what's keeping you bound in this material world. So Lord Shiva is the greatest of all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, right? And we see that she in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his Sloka Satakam, He says a beautiful prayer. Lord Chaitanya is very delightful, and his soul mantra is the Mahamantra. He is known throughout the three worlds for the gift of the holy names. This avatar is most unique, and his hair stands on end, prickly over all his body, and his vision steals away the minds of people. Nimai, Lord Gaurachandra, the best of the dancers, reveals himself in the midst of my heart. And we'll just end with these prayers. Well, actually, there's more I want to say. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Chaitanya Shikshamrita, sixth rainfall, fourth shower, he says, by fondly chanting Harinam, contemplating the true meaning, gradually, by his mercy, the holy name's mercy, one's chanting will advance. If this process is not followed, it will take many lifetimes to reach perfection. So Lord Harihar is found in Navadwip. Many nice pastimes take place there. So I just want to share with you one pastime of how this island got its name. So Navadwip, right? Go means cow and Druma means tree. So under the banyan tree lives a cow, and just not an ordinary cow, but Surabi cow. Surabi cow is, she's basically found in the spiritual world, and she's giving unlimited milk, right? And so here, after Indra, we see that the pastime goes like this, how Surabi came to be in Navadvip. After Indra sent the clouds of devastation to Vrindavan, right, due to his false ego, right, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill, Giriraj, in order to save the inhabitants for 7 days and 7 nights. He lifted Govardhan hill with his little finger of his left hand. And later Indra came to his senses, because Indra was thinking, like, who is this little brat, this Krishna? Who is this little child that, he thinks he knows it all, and he stopped my Indra Puja? How can he do that? So in order to show them a lesson, the residents of Vrindavan, because they weren't doing the puja to Indra, because Krishna said, no, don't worship Indra, worship Govardhan hill. So they start worshipping Govardhan hill, and Indra became very, very angry, and he sent torrents of rain. And like at the time of devastation, when there's this some Vataka clouds, right, and torrents, they rain like pillars, like pillars are falling. So so Indra, this is what he did for 7 days and 7 nights. He was sending this rain. And Krishna lifted Govardhan hill to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from this torrential rain. So later on, after the 7th day, Indra came to his senses and wanted to approach the Lord to offer prayers, but he was so afraid to do that because he committed this maha aparad, right? This great offense. And he approached Surabi, the cow, and he told Surabi, you are very dear to Krishna, because you always say Krishna and the cows, right? So you're very dear to Krishna. How can I approach Krishna? So Surabi said, don't worry, I'll come with you, and then you can offer your prayers to Krishna. So in this way, Lord Indra went down, he came down to Vrindavan with Surabi, and he offered his prayers. So Lord Indra wanted to come again in Kali Yuga, right? And he came down to Navadwip, and he was chanting the names of Lord Gauranga as his bhajan, and the Lord Chaitanya manifested to him and told Indra that he understands Indra's desires is to please him and not to commit the same mistake of mistaking him as somebody else, because he could not recognize the Supreme Lord when he descended. So he said, don't worry, he will take birth here. That Indra will take birth here in Gurjumadweep, and he will assist the Lord in his pastimes. So we see that Surabi is eternally residing at Gurjumadweep under a banyan tree. She's always there, right? So this is how Gurjumadweep got its name. And there's many, many pastimes, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the Sankirtan movement and the Namahata, the chanting of the holy names from Gurjumadweep base. So like Madrid as well. So I'll end here now, and if anyone likes to ask any questions or you have any realizations you'd like to share, you're most welcome to. Hare Krishna. Anyone? Shaming? Can unmute.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the big class. No questions for me. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So if you don't have any questions, then we'll just go on to chanting the holy names. Kudrusa Mataji, anything from you you'd like to add to this pastime?
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Thank you very much for wonderful class. I haven't anything to add. Your class was so wonderful. Thank you very much, Dandapa Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So we'll chant Hare Krishna, and yeah, we'll end up with that.
Hare Krishna Maji, thank you for the class.
Krishna.
Thank you. Maji, don't forget the pictures you wanted to share.
Oh yeah, okay. You can share the pictures now, and then we'll chant.
Okay, thank you, Maji.
So here are some pictures that probably is going to share on the topic that we spoke about today. And so this is Harihar. This is a deity at Gurjumadweep, the Harihar deity at Gurjumadweep. You can see one side is Lord Shiva and the other side is Lord Vishnu. So yeah, and it is being described that he's giving Lord Chaitanya freely to everyone. Right? He says, yes, yes, the Lord, please take him, please take him. And I had the good fortune of going and visiting this temple. So next picture. Well, this is Surabi, the cow, right? And you'll see that there's all the demigods that are situated on different parts of the cow's body, right? There's 33 million demigods, and they're all situated on the different parts of the cow's body, and therefore we do not kill the cow. And also the cow is like our mother, and she provides us with milk. And Surabi, she's supplying unlimited quantities of milk, right? So next picture. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's deity at Gurjumadweep, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur also had his house in Gurjumadweep, and we visited there as well. So yeah, it's also in Gurjumadweep, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Next, Prabhu. Oh, this is the Harihara deity again. Next, Prabhu. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, and yeah, Bhajan Kutir basically. So and the Gaudiya Math has basically established a temple there as well. Next picture. So yeah, this is Surabi Kunj Math. This was established by the followers of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, the Gaudiya Math. Also, next picture. This is Lord Shiva riding on the swan, right? We know that the carrier of Lord Brahma is the swan, right? We always see Lord Brahma on the swan. But Lord Shiva, he went to borrow his vihan. He went to borrow his vehicle, right? Lord Brahma's vehicle in order to get to Navadwip as quick as possible to hear Harikatha. So from Sutta Goswami. So this is a beautiful picture, and there's only, I think this is the only picture I could find of Lord Shiva on the swan on the internet. So thank you. The next picture, is there any other pictures?
That's it, Vasi. Thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Prabhu. Really appreciate it. So we'll just end with some kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Panchakalpatrubhescha Kripasundabhevcha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear Mataji.